If you do not know how to do these dashes in Rocket League, then you are falling behind. Here's every dash in Rocket League and how to do them. Number 1, the wave dash. The wave dash is the simplest yet most important mechanic on this entire list. The actual execution is relatively simple, but there are a lot of different ways to implement wave dashes into your gameplay. A wave dash is essentially canceling your flip animation by landing into the ground. Let me explain. Step 1 of a wave dash is to jump. Hopefully you already know how to jump, but make sure you can just jump in place like I'm doing here. Once you know how to jump, what you want to do is pull your car back just a little bit. So step 2 is jump, and after the jump, pull back just a little bit like this. For step 3, and to complete the wave dash, as your back 2 wheels are hitting the ground, front flip forward. If you can do everything I just showed, congrats, you just learned how to wave dash. You can wave dash forwards, backwards, sideways, and even diagonally. Whichever way you want to wave dash, make sure on step 2 when you are jumping, you are pointing the hood of your car away from whatever direction you want to go. For example, if I want to jump forward towards this Rocket League sign here, you want to jump and point your hood backwards because you're flipping forwards. You're giving yourself space to do the front flip. If I want to go backwards, I'm pointing my car up, facing my hood forwards. Number 2. Chain wave dashes. The chain wave dash is not the most important mechanic to know, but I think it's really good to learn to get better car control, and I think it's pretty important to know in some situations. So here's how you do it. So before you even attempt to chain wave dash, make sure you can wave dash in any direction and do it pretty consistently. You can chain wave dash in any direction. I'm gonna do it forward for this example. Chain wave dashing is actually very simple if you know how to do a wave dash properly. Pretty much, you want to do a wave dash, and the second you do your first wave dash, press jump. The second you're pressing jump as you're landing, your car is getting just enough height above the ground to continuously wave dash over and over and over again. If you notice the controller overlay on the bottom right, you will notice the second I wave dash, I'm pressing X, my jump button, right as I'm doing it, so I can get back in the air and continuously dash in that direction. Congratulations, you can now wave dash and chain wave dash. Number 3. The Zap Dash. As the time of recording this, my best video on my channel is actually a Zap Dash tutorial, so if you want a full video on just that, link will be in the description. There's pretty much 2 types of Zap Dashes, and I'm going to teach you how to do both here. One is just off the wall, off the ground, where you're popping your hood into the air and then dashing off of that. Sometimes people will do this off jumping off a wall, sometimes they'll just do it while landing on the ground, but the second one is doing it off of a speed flip. To practice and understand what a Zap Dash actually is, we're going to do this small exercise right here in trading that you can see on your screen. This exercise is essentially broken up into 2 parts. The first part is I am jumping and then pointing my nose towards the ground, and as my 2 front wheels are hitting the ground, I am pressing X. Once I press X, you will notice that my 2 front wheels actually pop back up in the air. And once your front 2 wheels pop back into the air, you're front flipping. Once you can do this consistently, you are ready to practice Zap Dashing within a speed flip. If you do not know how to speed flip, I have a short form tutorial which I will leave in a link in the description. I will also have my controller overlay in the bottom right that you can watch. Notice as I'm doing these speed flips, I'm holding down on my joystick just a little bit longer. And what this is allowing me to do is it's allowing the front of my car to get in that simulated sequence that we were just practicing a minute ago. It's allowing my front 2 wheels to actually get into the ground, so as I press X to Zap Dash, it actually pops my hood up, and then I can front flip and Zap Dash. If you are struggling to consistently get this pop or get the Zap Dash animation, here is one tip that has helped a few people that I know. For my binds specifically, and many other people's, my L1 is both drift and power slide. And I know some people can find it easier to actually get the Zap Dash if you hold L1 throughout the air roll and also drift as you're doing the Zap Dash. If you look at the controller overlay, you'll notice in some of these attempts, I'm holding it the whole way through pretty much, and it's allowing me to get a more consistent and better pop. Hopefully after this, you're able to Zap Dash, and if you're not and want some more practice, go check out my Zap Dash tutorial I did not too long ago. That one has done very, very well, and it's helped a lot of people learn how to Zap Dash. Number 4, Wall Dash. Wall dashing is a super useful mechanic for gaining speed on the wall even if you have 0 boost. Think of a wall dash as canceling your flip animation by flipping into the sidewall. Without further ado, let's teach you how to wall dash in 3 simple steps. For step 1, it's very easy. Just pick a wall, either right or left, and just drive alongside it. For step 2, I want you to drive along the wall, but I want you to occasionally turn your nose towards the ground and then turn back and drive how you were on a straight line. It'll look a little something like this, and this may look a little weird, but stay with me. If you're on the right wall, you're gonna be turning your car a little bit left, which turning your car a little bit left on the wall makes your nose point to the ground. Then once again, turn back to the middle. And if you're on the left wall, you wanna turn your car a little bit to the right, and then once again, turn it back to the middle. Once you're used to and comfortable with this motion, we're on to step 3, which is the final part of this mechanic. For step 3, as you are turning your car back from looking at the ground, turning it back to that main line that we focused on, I want you to do a side flip on the wall that you were on. For example, as you're turning back up to the middle, if you are on the right wall, do a side flip to the right. If you are on the left wall, do a side flip to the left. I highly recommend looking at my controller overlay in the bottom right if you are confused about any step of this or where you should be pointing your joystick. When practicing wall dashes, practice the intervals in between the dashes. For example, do a wall dash, then drive for 3 seconds, then do another wall dash. Once you can do it with a 3-second interval, then do it at 2 seconds, then do it at 1 second, and then you can do it as fast as you physically can. One small note that I want to make. The reason we make these slight turns to the ground to consistently do these wall dashes is that if you don't turn towards the ground or right, left, whatever wall you may be on, you will ride up the wall as you're wall dashing. I'll put a clip in here right now of what it looks like if you aren't turning down. And so if your wall dashes look like this, you might not be facing towards the ground when you're turning. Number 5, the Mina dash. This mechanic's a little weird, but it's pretty simple, and I've heard a bunch of different names for it. So if I'm calling it the Mina dash and you know it is something else, forgive me, but let's get straight into it. Think of this dash as flipping into the wall and carrying that flipping momentum up the wall. Let me explain. For step 1 of this mechanic, all you have to do is jump while going towards the wall. It'll look a little something like this. You're usually gonna aim for around the top of the curve of the wall. For step 2, as your car approaches the wall, you're going to want to speed flip in the opposite direction of the wall itself. For example, if you are going towards the left wall, you're gonna wanna flip to the right. If you're going towards the right wall, you're gonna wanna flip towards the left. By flipping in the opposite direction of the wall, you can get your car facing upfield while catching your wheels and riding that momentum. Once you do it consistently, it'll look something like this. Number 6, Mina dash into wall dash recovery. This recovery, in my opinion, is the fastest way to go from 0 boost to supersonic in the game. It's a super efficient way to rotate out of someone's half while having 0 or full boost. So let's show you how to do it. We're gonna break this into 2 simple steps. The first step just being doing the Mina dash that you just learned. The second step is just as you land your Mina dash, instantly turning into a wall dash. By chaining these 2 dashes together, you can get an insane amount of momentum. Sometimes when you do this dash quick enough, it almost looks like a zap dash on the wall, but regardless, you're gaining a lot of speed very quickly, which is what we want. Number 7, bonus, the horse dash. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. The horse dash, I'm putting this one in for fun. It's not that useful, but it's not that hard to do, and if you can do it in the pregame lobby, you're gonna scare your opponents. So let me teach you how to do it. The first step of the horse dash is jumping and choosing one of your back wheels to land on. I always do it landing on the back right wheel, so that's what I'm gonna be doing here. As your back wheel is hitting the ground, you want to front flip forward. If you do this correctly, your back end will pop up, and the second that happens, you back flip. And then basically what the horse dash is front flipping and back flipping, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When you actually get in the back flip and front flip motion of this mechanic, it's really not that hard. It kind of just comes down to a timing thing. Hardest part of this is easily the setup, so you really want to work on timing that front flip as your back wheel is hitting the ground. As you get more comfortable with this mechanic as well, you can hold drift, and this will allow you to kind of like move across the field. You'll see in some of these clips I stand still. Some of these clips I kind of move across the field. When I'm moving across the field, that's when I'm holding drift. When learning this, I highly recommend putting your game into 50% speed in training. This helped me learn this very, very quickly, and it was much easier to time on 50%. That's gonna be it, guys. That is every single dash that you need to learn in order to play at the highest level of Rocket League. And a horse dash, because why not? I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know what tutorial you want to see next.